Hey, 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 what's up, what's up? All right, it's good to see you guys as you're joining. We had a good crowd on last week, a really good crowd to discuss this very important topic, and we're going to continue that. I want you guys to be on the lookout for a few things and just get ready mentally for what we're about to do with our app and otherwise. We're going to be starting our matchmaking this year sometime in the first, within the next, 30, 60 days, I guess. And I want you guys, if you've been asking me about, well, when can we do matchmaking? When can you find me a match? When can you do this? Well, we're about to do it. We just wanted to make sure that everything was great. We wanted, not perfect, but just really, really great. And we wanted people to be on the app and start getting to know each other. But it's going to be quite interesting and quite different. All right. Hey, Moses River. What's up? What's up? What's up, Moses River? Is that your real name? Man, that is the coolest name. Moses River. I love it. I'm here for that. Nikki. Hey. I hope I don't have a boyfriend by then. That's completely up to you, Nick, my friend. That is completely up to you as to whether you have a boyfriend. I'm so glad to see the testosterone on here, Moses. Thank you. Sabine, my friend all the way from California. Be safe out there. It's kind of, I know it's tough. It's actually Moses Rivers. Thank you, Moses Rivers. That makes a whole lot more sense, okay? Moses River was like, I don't know, the one they sent the basket down to avoid Pharaoh killing the baby Moses, but that's too much information. But Sabine, be safe out there in California. Let's see here. All right, great. What's up, Candace Gore? I'm so glad you guys are coming on. I want you to remember, as you're signing into the app, once we finish tonight, continue to move around. Find out what's going on. Join some of those groups. If you're single, join the single groups or create your own. If you're married, join the marriage group. There's a marriage group. Different cities are putting up groups now. There's one from Dallas. There's one from Atlanta. And one from Ohio is going to be starting up from what I heard. Paula User, she's on now. So it's all good. You know what? My wife says if Nikki has a boyfriend by then, that's good. Just join the dating side of the app. That's perfect. Hey there, Melanie, my sister from another mister. All right, I want to jump right in. I really do. And I want to talk about this tonight, okay? Last week we left off talking about sensitive men, and I really need you guys to chime in, talk to me. I want some of my men to talk to me tonight. Now, going forward, you're going to find, if you're in the app, in some of the community, in some of the rooms, we're going to start meeting with people in those rooms. Now, that meeting is going to be a little different from this. This is a live where you're texting and you can only see me. Okay, I can't see you. But inside the rooms, it's more like a Zoom type feature where we can actually see each other and talk to each other face to face. Okay, and so that's going to be pretty exciting. We haven't started it yet, but I'm telling you, this app has so many features in it. It's bananas. All right, so that's something that we're going to be doing. So I want you to please start joining the communities. The downside to that is we can only do about 15 people. So it'd be first come, first serve. So next time, make sure you get on. Okay? Let's go on as we talk about sensitive men. Listen, I'm convinced here that we've hit a nerve because the more I talk about this, whether on the app, on the live here, or just with people in general, I'm finding that men are feeling misunderstood and women are having mixed emotions about sensitive and not sensitive, sensitivity, et cetera, et cetera. So I want to dig into this a little bit, okay? How many of you all right now, if you're in a relationship, are in a relationship with a sensitive man? Right now, if you're in a relationship, how many of you all are in a relationship with a sensitive man? I want to know. All right. Okay. Siobhan, hello. Hey, Siobhan. Sabine said she is. Anyone else? I was eating earlier. My wife came and took my food away because I think it probably looks bad on camera, but this is real life, so this is live. But I'm not tripping. Okay, who else? Somebody else said me. Someone else said here. All right, great. Now, I want you to, the same people I was, but he is also a narcissist. Jesus help us. Rosie's here. Hey, Rosie. So, if you're with a sensitive man, I want you to answer me the second question. Is that a good thing to you, or is it a bad thing? Now, I'm here. I know that this is a tough question for you to answer. And if your man is online, we're going to parse it out. We're going to talk about it, okay? But is being a sensitive man to you a good thing or a bad thing? All right. Duchess Murray asked the question, sensitive crying or sensitive towards others? Well, let's talk about that. What does that mean, being a sensitive man? I have some definitions I want to share with you, but I want to talk to you about it also, because and I've been presenting for 25, 30 years. And the funny thing is that I know that engagement is where people learn. It depends. Define sensitive man. Sensitivity is good. Overly sensitive is a problem. Okay, fine. Where is the line of demarcation that determines what is too sensitive? Is crying too sensitive? Okay. I'm sorry. Sabine says, yes, please define sensitive. I might have spoken too soon. If crying is overly sensitive. Is wanting my feelings to be heard overly sensitive? Okay. So what are you expecting? Is being more sensitive than you? Much more sensitive than me is too much. Okay, fine. So how do I still measure my sensitivity to yours? If being more sensitive than you, that means I should not be as inquisitive as you are. I should not. No whining is good. Okay, fine. Nobody wants whining. Let me give you a little newsflash here. Men don't want whining from women either. Nobody likes whining. Nobody likes whining. Okay, nobody likes anyone who is overly sensitive, in men or in women. Okay, when a woman is overly sensitive and everything you say to her, she's upset, or everything you say to him, he gets upset. That's not even a gender issue. That's a human issue. No one wants people who are overly sensitive. No one wants people who are hypersensitive to the point where you cannot carry on a decent communication without anyone getting offended. It makes relationships laborious. Okay? Guest Kirkland said, we show sensitivity, you complain. Okay, my testosterone is speaking, men are speaking out here. We show sensitivity, you complain. We don't show it, they complain. Wow. Y'all help me out now. We show sensitivity, you complain. We don't show sensitivity, they complain. You think that's true? Lack of confidence and strength isn't attractive. Now, for some reason, we keep equating sensitivity with femininity. We keep doing that in these conversations. Whenever I talk about sensitivity, we go to this thing about lack of masculinity. Let me make this perfectly clear for those people in the balcony. Sensitive men can be masculine. They can be incredibly masculine. Just because you're sensitive doesn't mean you're feminine. It doesn't mean you're a punk. It doesn't mean you're a sissy. It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean any of that. I know you can't say all these words, whatever. It's some bizarre app. I can say what I want. It doesn't mean any of that. Sensitivity simply means I am in tune with how I feel. Okay? And I need you to understand how I feel, and I'm not afraid to express it. I'm not afraid to express it. Okay. Let me back up. Look at some of these comments because I love the fact that you guys are communicating. So my man said when a man shows sensitivity, there's a complaint, and when you don't show it, there's a complaint. And I think that's a great point, because I think that's where men often find themselves, between that rock and the hard place, between the devil and the deep blue sea, so to speak. And they find themselves just beating their head against the wall like a woodpecker in a petrified forest, trying to find some sense here, just peck, 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 peck. So the idea here is that men find themselves. Let me give an example. Just stuck. And I'll give you an example. Toxic masculinity. When a man is not sensitive, they're called toxic masculine men. When a man is too sensitive, they're called simps or effeminate, right? Or sassy. But when he is not sensitive, he's toxic. So I want you to understand, and this is not anti-woman, really. I want you to understand the difficulty that this puts people in. And this is if you're talking about men, women, or anyone. You have to allow people to live their lives based on their experiences, and you get to know them and measure what's good for you and what's bad for you. Because my prayer and my belief here is that in us having in these discussions, that you're preparing yourselves for our matchmaking. You're preparing yourselves for bettering yourselves in marriage, so that we can do what this app is designed to do, is make you happy, whether you're married, single, or dating. Okay. Being sensitive and showing sensitivity are two different things. Being sensitive and showing sensitivity are two different things. So am I to understand, MAFP user, that it's okay to be sensitive, we just don't show it? Is that what you're saying? That a man who shows sensitivity, that's a negative thing? No, it's not. I consider myself, newsflash here, I consider myself a sensitive man. Yes, I do. I have never been called not masculine, though. All right? I feel, and my wife will tell you, when I feel, I talk. And when I talk, I want to be understood. And if I want to be understood, I need you to listen. I don't need you. No gaslighting, none of that. Listen to what I'm saying. This is how I feel about this. I need you to understand that so you can understand me. Because if you understand me, you'll know how to talk to me. And I will respond when you learn how to talk to me. And then we can move on in our relationship. Okay? That's what I'm talking about by being sensitive. Okay. Y'all getting this tonight. All right. Hold up. So, someone says here, I would say, no name. I would say my husband is emotionally intelligent. He is sensitive in his personal life and direct in his professional life. I love that. That's what I'm talking about. That's healthy, being sensitive enough to express yourself and be heard. The opposite is being closed off and unable to be sensitive enough to express. This is a good balance. Men don't have, don't have to be extreme in their sensitivities. Now I'm going to talk about that in a second. Man has to be strong. Tough times, Jesus Christ. Tough time, men got to be strong. Tough times come. I'm going to talk and say, has to be able to hold it together. Men want to lay on our thighs. We need to be able to lay on his shoulders because we need tough men. Look. Yes, I want to lay on your thighs. Yes, I want to lay on my wife's thighs. Yes. And I want her to lay on my shoulders, and we do both. Right. Has she ever seen me cry? Yes, she has. Have I ever seen her cry? Absolutely. Right? Not in one moment do I ever question that she thinks I'm masculine. All right? Not one moment do I question that. Right? But this thing, man has to be strong. I want to challenge you with your significant other to start defining what strength is to you. Because unless your man knows what strength is to you, he might never reach that standard. Okay? Now, someone says that being sensitive about everything and touchy about everything is not the same as showing compassion to others. And being touchy, now this could go two ways. Being sensitive about everything and being touchy about everything. All right, let me talk to you as a counselor now. When you say that someone is sensitive about everything and touchy about everything, the first thing I need you to do is to consider your delivery. Is that person sensitive because you might be overly aggressive in your delivery? You might be callous in your delivery. You might be coming across in a way that would offend anyone. And if that is the case, then you have to really start reworking and rethinking the way you think about sensitivity. There are people who will say you're sensitive because they're not taking your crap. I'm not saying that's you, MAFP user who hasn't given yourself a handle yet. I want you to go and give yourself a handle so I can call you by your name. But the thing is that if somebody's not taking your crap, doesn't mean they're sensitive. It means they're standing up for themselves. And that goes on both sides, men and women, okay? Sometimes you're not sensitive, you're just hungry. That's my wife. Oh, God. Get off the line. No, I'm joking. I like sensitive men if they can communicate. Absolutely. We don't want a brute. Absolutely. You shouldn't want a brute. Okay. Some men can't communicate his feelings without being overly sensitive. That's true. But let me share something with you here. And I talked about this for a moment. There's a thing called toxic masculinity, which is defined as having a toughness where you got to be physically strong and emotionally callous and behaviorally aggressive. You have to have sort of an anti-feminine air about yourself where you shun and reject all things that might seem feminine, all things that might seem not super masculine. And also that you should work towards obtaining power and status. This is the definition of toxic masculinity, where someone who is focused on attaining a power and status, and they're tough. And you see this toxic trait in parents, especially dads, who tell their boys that they fall in it, get up, tough it up, stand up, don't cry, stop crying. Men don't cry. Happened to me. My older brothers. I would go out, I get in a fight in school, I come back. Did you whip him? You better not cry. No, you go back and you no, dude, I got a black eye here. I don't get a chance to, So I think sometimes when we tell our kids to man up, don't be weak, don't be a punk, you understand what I'm saying? We kind of miss the point. Men are supposed to respond to their feelings. They must respond to their feelings. Because when a man suppresses his emotions, and he does that long enough, what happens is that it reveals itself in depression and sometimes aggressiveness. When you find an aggressive man, sometimes what you're seeing is someone who has suppressed their emotions to the point where it has no other outlet than to come out violently. They have not been allowed to talk. That's why therapy is so freaking important. Okay? Okay. Sometimes a man's kindness can be taken as weakness. Yes. Thank you, guest. And that guest Kirkland. I think you're absolutely right. And I think that is one big problem in the dating world. I'll give an example. My son told me when he was dating, he was generally a kind guy. I say generally because I know him. He's my kid. He's our kid. And he told me that he was going out with this girl. And I may have shared this with you. I'll share it again. Just be patient. And they were supposed to go out one evening. And he makes good money. He does well. He's insurance adjuster, doing his thing. Single man. And he goes out and she says, well, let's go out for dinner. She said, well, what time do you get off? She says, late. Oh, well, he said, well, let's do coffee tomorrow because that may be too late. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to keep you out late. So being a gentleman as I taught him. He says, well, let's do coffee tomorrow. Her response, well, coffee doesn't impress me. Coffee doesn't impress me. And then she said that he was being too kind or too not strong enough. These kind of mixed messages are why there are, I'm not going to say definitively why, but from what a lot of men have told me, these kind of mixed messages are why they are withdrawing from the dating world or seeking women who may not be as aggressive or as demanding in their lives. Okay? A comment here. I think if you're married to someone you consider overly sensitive, it might be up to you to change your perspective and work with the spouse you choose. You chose. Communicate your feelings without aggression. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Duchess says there's a whole psychology behind that. How you doing to your son? Okay, right. He's not on to that. But the fact of the matter is I think a lot of times men find themselves just caught between that rock and a hard place, trying to figure out what the balance is that will please women. Because remember, men, our goal is to make sure our women are happy. I tell men who are married that when you take on the role as husband, you are the house band. You're the one who's banding the house to keep the bad stuff out and the good stuff in. So you're the one who's responsible for protecting that house. If your house falls apart, you all go bankrupt, no one's going to say, man, your wife lost the house. No, you lost it. I didn't create the societal norms. It's the way they are. You lost it. And men know that. You are the house band. So as such, sometimes that's a lot of pressure for men. Okay? It's a lot of pressure. So you must communicate with your man. Let him know what strong is. Let him know what weak is. And see if you can find a balance there. Okay? This dude wants to talk but can't handle when it's dished back. I don't know who's saying this is. This dude can't handle when it's dished back. Then we're aggressive and mouthy. If I'm quiet, he quills more. When I shoot back, he gets in his feelings. Jesus, I assume this is okay. This dude wants to talk, but he can't handle when it's dished back. Okay, I assume you're a lady talking about a gentleman. Then we aggressive when it's dished back. Then we aggressive and mouthy. If I'm quiet, he quills more. When I shoot back, he gets into his feelings. Okay, not quite sure what you're talking about, but I am going to say this: that sometimes, and I've talked to men more than you would imagine. I've talked to men a lot, and sometimes when a man gets silent and does not shoot back when you get aggressive, it's called self-regulation. I need you to understand this. And you ask your husbands, ask your boyfriends, ask your brothers, ask your dad. Sometimes if you get mouthy with a man and he pulls back, it's not because he's weak. It's because he's self-regulating, because he understands his power. He understands his power. And men are by nature, you can argue with this if you want, it's okay. Men are by nature aggressive and alpha. Okay? So what happens is, if you come at a guy with alpha energy, 9 times out of 10, there are men who don't have alpha energy, of course. 9 times out of 10, that man's going to look at you and be like, wait a minute, she looks like a woman. She smells like a woman. She acts like a woman, but she's talking like a dude. She's coming to me with alpha. That's confusing. It kind of messes you up. And the man is like, okay, do I hug her? Do I kiss her? Do I hit her? I don't know what to do because I don't know how to respond. So the mature man will self-regulate. And he'll say, you know what? It's cool. It's okay. It's so cool. It's cool. Don't worry about it. All right. Okay, cool. And he'll take the blow. He'll take the aggression. He'll take the criticism. Now, if you keep pushing it, trust me, you don't want that aggression to come out. And I'm not saying the men are better than women. I think men are different from women. I think women are different from men. I think we have equal value, but different roles and different qualities. Okay? That's where I think we are, okay? All right. All right, guys. It's a lot of pressure, but why we have to use our words to build up and encourage? Absolutely. That's it. He's also over it, ready to leave or emotionally checked. Girl, you must have been married. I know Melanie personally. I know she's been married for 40 years, so she gets it. That when you push a man like that, and I try to tell women this about men because I want you to understand, when a woman checks out, she can do it in her actions. She can let you know. She'll scream. She can whatever. Quite often when a man checks out, you may not know it until you notice his behavior. He's no longer there. You may not see it because there's something weird in us. So when we check out, when we're over it, it's like, okay, we don't want to talk anymore. And when that apathy comes in, yeah, you've pushed them to the edge. Yeah. Self-regulation takes years of practice. You're absolutely right. Okay. Yeah, if he is sensitive, he should understand where you are. Absolutely. Sensitivity has to go both ways. It has to in order for it to be effective in a relationship. Well, look, I want to talk so much more, and we're going to be talking more about this We're going to meet again on Thursday. Please bring your friends, and I hope you got something here. I hope you did get it. There's a lot we didn't get to, but it's okay. It's all good. We will be back on Thursday. We'll be talking about some other stuff. Okay, someone says, I'll give you this one, last comment. I guess I'm not communicating effectively, too many typos. My ex was ill-prepared to be a husband. He was verbally abusive and emotionally abusive. But when I pushed back, I was aggressive or mouthy. Okay, because he is history. We're divorced. He was a liar, broke many promises. I moved to LA for the relationship, and it was for nothing, too much to go into here. And I hear you, MAFP user, and that's great. I hear you because, look, we're not a monolith. There's so many layers to our stories, and if you're with a guy who is acting like a complete a-hole, well, then fine. It's a good thing you left him. Okay, it's a good thing you left him, all right? No one is saying put up with garbage here. I'm not calling him garbage. I'm talking about behavior, all right? All right, guys, God bless you. Duchess Murray, thank you so much for that endorsement. Go on social media and let everybody know. The best app I've ever downloaded. Bless your heart. Thank you so much. I'm still learning. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You guys, I love you guys. Tell everybody. Oh, Trini in the house. Luann Williams. My wife is Trini to the bone. Thursday night, join us for our next session, okay? Stuff's about to pop off. God bless you guys.